All right, today we're looking at lesson 47. We're looking at unit conversions, and then we're going to look at more fractional exponents. Did y'all get those correct yesterday on your homework? Some of them?
I look back. I got right. I did.
Okay. So we're going to look at those some more. We're going to convert 42 inches per second to miles per hour. Have y'all done these before? We did just like miles to inches or whatever earlier. Now we're adding in two different things that we have to convert. It's the same concept, but you have to do two conversions instead of just one. Does it matter whether you convert inches to miles or seconds to hours first? It doesn't matter. You just pick whichever one you want.
I don't get how you get
No, you go inches to miles and you go second to hour. Yeah, your final answer will be in miles per hour. Does that make sense? Like right now it's in inches per second, and we're going to convert it into miles per hour. So we've got inches per second. Which one do you want to start with, inches or second? Second, okay. What do we know about seconds? 60 seconds in 1 minute. Right? Is minute what we want them to be in? So what do we need to convert it to? So 60 minutes in 1 hour. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're going to say 42 times 60 times 60. And then we also have to convert inches to what? Okay, so what do we do to convert inches? Feet. So first we need to go to inches to feet. Does that make sense? And then Jamar said 5,280 feet is in 1 mile. Does that make sense? So do we have it in the right units? Okay, so see if you can figure out what the answer is. Did y'all get a big number? You got what? Divide those out.
I'm confused. I got one big number.
What's 42 times 60 times 60 divided by 12 and then divided by 5,280? That's not your final answer.
Oh, I got that.
And then when you divide it by what you get for
I got 2.38.
yeah.
That's what you should get. Then you write miles per hour. Yeah, you can.
So 2.39.
Did y'all get that?
Yes.
Okay. Did that make sense? I mean, you can get a number in your numerator and a number in your denominator, but you actually want to divide them out. Does that make sense? Any questions on these? Okay. See if you can try this one by yourself. 480 miles per hour to feet per second. Do you want to convert miles first or hours first? Hours? Okay. What would I write? 1 hour is 60 minutes. And 1 minute is 60 seconds. Does that make sense? What else? 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Do we have it in the correct units? Miles have to cancel out, and hour has to cancel out, so hour has to go on top. What would you get for this actual answer? Does that make sense? Any questions on how to get the 704 feet per second? None? Okay. Looking at one more. 15 inches per second to yards per hour. What would you do for this one?
1 yard is 30 feet.
Is it okay to go from inches to yards? Could you have done inches to feet and then feet to yards? 3 times 12 is still 36, right? Okay, what else do you have to do? You agree? What do you get for your final answer?
1,500 yards.
Any questions on those? Y'all see how they work? Okay. Looking at fractional exponents, we've got the cube root of 27 times the square root of 3. What's different about this problem compared to the ones we did, I think, yesterday? The bases are different. They're not both a 3. But look, it says write 27 as a power of 3. Can you write 27 as a power of 3? 3 to the what is the same thing as 27? So instead of 27, you can write 3 cubed. Now, do they have the same base? Does that make sense? So what they're doing is adding one step where you have to change them to have the same base. Any questions on that part? Okay, what would you do next? This would become what? Does that make sense? Do you remember what to do next? Yes. It would be 3 to the 7 halves. 3 plus 1 half is 3 1/2, 7 halves. Does that make sense? Combine these two. Do what? Mm-hmm. Three over 3 is 1. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd want to use like that. Any other questions? Okay, what do we do from here? Raise what to the 1/3? The whole thing? Make sense? Which is what? 3 to the 7 6. Y'all see how that works? Any questions on that one? Okay, looking at another one. The 6th root of 4 square root of 2. If you think you can do it by yourself, go ahead and try. See if you get the same thing. What would you do first? And then what would you do? And then come 2 1/2, which is what? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? And then what? So 2 to the 5 over 12. When it's a power raised to a power, you multiply them. Any other questions? These make sense? Okay. Do y'all have any